Hey everybody, it's your boy Gaby, and have you guys noticed how popular AIOs are these days? If you're unfamiliar, AIO stands for all-in-one, and one of the most popular original versions of the AIO style of mod was called the Billet Box. It was this really high-end all-in-one device that was very popular, and I believe it was one of the first of its kind back in the day. I had a Billet Box back in the day, and it was very cool. It had a RBA deck, but you could also use sub-ohm coils in it. It was interesting. However, it didn't have enough power for me. I don't actually even know what happened to my Billet Box. I really wasn't that crazy about it. I thought it was cool, but it didn't have enough power. I've noticed that there's been a massive resurgence of AIOs in the market lately. A lot of these new Boro style devices with these RBA decks and these weird tanks and things like that all kind of stems from the original Billet Box and some of the original dot mod stuff. I don't have any of the new Boro style devices, although I'd like to try one. I don't have one here, but I thought it would be fun to try and build my own version of the Billet Box. I built this. This is called the Deathbox. This is a triple 18650 mechanical mod. So in this video, I'm going to show you the journey of building the Deathbox, my own take on the Billet Box. I wanted to solve the problems that I had with my Billet Box. Didn't hit hard enough, battery life was terrible. So let's do that. So I welded in my 510 and then I brought it in to work on this and assemble it, and then I came up with an idea. Now this one has all the circles, and for this particular aesthetic of how massive this is, that works. However, I'm not super into the circles on this one. And after welding in the 510 and grinding it down, it looks so nice flush. I was brainstorming on it, and I figured out that nickels fit perfectly in the holes of this box. So what I'm going to do is weld in a bunch of nickels in the top and the back plate here. I don't really need to do the sides or the bottom, especially because you're not going to see the bottom a ton, but I decided I'm going to weld in these nickels and grind them down. So heads or tails on how this comes out. I'm sorry. How cool is this thing? Using a really nice lacquer, this has a fantastic hand feel. I know I'm being funny, but it legitimately feels very expensive to touch. I originally wanted to mount the battery sled horizontally like I have in my octuple mod, but I decided to go vertical like the majority of other mods out there because I wanted to fit in a fuse. I didn't want to do a MOSFET. I'm not a big fan of MOSFETs. I don't like MOSFETs because you can't service them without taking everything apart if anything anything ever goes wrong. And if I was in a wasteland survival situation, it's a lot more accessible to steal fuses out of a vehicle than it is to find a Radio Shack that doesn't exist anymore and track down the proper MOSFET. So if I ever put a build on here that's too low or run into any kind of issues, it will blow the fuse before it blows my button, and then I just go to Walmart or an auto parts store and get another fuse and pop it in. I decided to make this parallel. I prefer parallel mods. I think they're the superior way to vape. I understand series mods and I get why series mods are so popular, but for my day-to-day life where I am too busy every single second of the day, I want something that will have consistent power from the time I wake up to the time I go to sleep, and I don't need to change my batteries in between. This mod, I vaped it with this exact build on my Goon Low Pro, and I get about 3 days of using this as my primary device before I need to change out my batteries, which is pretty dang good, I would say. The 8 battery mod lasts for a full week of vaping. I was going to put some lights in here to shine through these holes that are still in there, but I felt like that doesn't really fit with the theme. A lot of the billet boxes and things along those lines aren't filled with crazy lights either. They're just kind of beautiful shelf pieces. So here is my beautiful shelf piece. This is the Deathbox. Now that I've spent a few days with the Deathbox, testing it and making sure it holds up, it's reliable, it works great, and I love using it. So I figure it's time to reveal it to you guys and do a little bit of a juice tasting. Today, I want to try another juice from our friends over at Happier. This is a strawberry waffle. Now, I'm hoping it is like a waffle, like the breakfast food with strawberry, or maybe it's a strawberry ice cream with a waffle cone. I don't know, but we're gonna find out here together. And in my Goon Low Pro, I have a single coil that's just a center mounted Clapton. It works great, I love it, it's super good. Great flavor, great cloud production, great battery life, I'm about it. Big thank you to Lilia and our friends over at Happier. I really appreciate you sending this along. Cheers. Okay, all right. So they're using like a candied style strawberry that you would find in a disposable. And a lot of PG. I think it's the nick that they use in their juices that has just this PG kind of throat hit, and it's got like an ice element to it. Huh. I'm not sure how I feel about that. I'm not getting any of the waffle. It is a decent strawberry, but I would not put this in the classification of a dessert vape. I would put this in the class of a just strawberry disposable juice that happens to not be a salt nick. Vapor production is good, and the strawberry isn't bad. It's not a bad juice. I just wouldn't classify this as a dessert flavor. Typically in dessert juices, you see more of a strawberry ripe type texture to it, not so much a candied strawberry. I'm not getting any of the waffle, really. Maybe my taste buds can't process the waffle, but I'm not tasting any of the waffle. I just get strawberry and almost like a menthol, which is fine, but it's not what I was expecting. If this juice was in a disposable, I would go crazy over it. But it's in the application of a drippable dessert vape, and I don't think it doesn't really hold up to a dessert vape. It's more of like a really good fruit flavor. I'm gonna spend some more time with this one because I like it as like a minty strawberry. It's a very good minty strawberry. It doesn't really hold up to the standards of a dessert vape. It holds up to great standards of a fruit vape. So with all that being said, I think I'm gonna wrap things up here for today. If you liked the video about the Deathbox, share your thoughts and opinions with me down in the comments below. And another big thank you to Lilia and our friends over at Happier. I hope you guys have a great day, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye, everybody.